Welcome back to AutoCraft. I believe this is 35th episode, maybe. Last episode we built this fancy casino. We played stat poker. We won 572 diamonds, because we're nuts. And we also are pretty good at poker. So anyways, I wanted to start here because this build is just one of my favorites that I've built so far this season. It's just such a good casino build. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just really proud of it, so that I hope that you like it. Anyways, we are going to transition away from this for today's episode because what I want to do involves another game. Not a game here in the gaming district, but a large server project game that we are going to be doing called AutoClash. So if you haven't seen Mechanics episodes where he talks about it, go watch those. But basically, AutoClash is this dark blue carpet that leads over here to another section of the AutoCraft map. Let me get the portal out of the way. And here you can see what just generated. Basically, it's a giant circle map that we all are taking part in creating, or at least 8 people have chosen to build slices for it. So each different slice has different themes, depending on what the person wanted to build. So yeah, my slice is here. And as you can see, I have not built anything because I've been busy building other things. And I want to get this completed today. So this is going to be the very first project that we work on. After that, we'll probably do some armor stand work for Alex. He placed his order a couple weeks ago and we have not gotten to it yet. So I already have a design for this. I designed it in Creative and I'm going to basically rebuild it here. But that was before Clumsy built his area. So I might have to mess with that left side a little bit to kind of get up to his level. And just make it a little bit more seamless, right? We don't want just like a random drop off cliff into our area. So I'm going to prep. I need to gather all the materials for this build. I've already started prepping slightly and you can't really see it much, but if we look underneath my little slice area, this is as deep as my slice will go. So almost everybody went up. I am taking a different route and I am going down. So yeah, we have all these big tall areas and mine's going to be down further into the ground. So I guess I will bring you back once I have all of the materials and we will just jump right into the time lapse from here. Hope that you guys enjoy. Lady is always so nice. So as you may have seen in the time lapse, she is now working on her slice. I completed mine, and what I decided to build was a custom ravine. So let's take you through kind of my thinking on it. Basically, it's a 2-part ravine or a really long V-shaped ravine. We got a nice little tent over here, like somebody's over here exploring. There's a campfire up here, as well as a couple little chairs just to hang out, you know. And it looks like there's like some old mining that was going on. The tracks are a little bit busted, but they're there. There's still some resources left here in the walls. And yeah, lots of lava, lots of water. I even put some diamonds in here. which, funny story about that, I actually had used all of my diamond ore, so I had to go mining. It took me like, I don't know, 3 minutes, and I happened to get exactly 7, which is what I had built when I built this in creative. So it works out, and over here are the rest of the diamonds. So yeah, it's kind of a little fun. There's little secret passageways, up and down. Obviously, you can just go up water, so that's why there's multiple different water sources. Right there's one of the passageways. Over here's a passageway. So a lot of different things, like this one will lead you up to the second level on this side. And then also there's the obvious choice of parkour as well, right? So even if you're not wanting to go up and down those specific paths, there's bridges across, but you can also do things like that to get away from people, or if you're trying to hunt somebody down when we actually start playing the game. So I hope that you like it. It took a long time to build. Like I said, I did build this in creative first, and then basically rebuilt it here in survival. The only reason that I did that was because building downwards in survival sucks horribly. So I wanted kind of a template layout that I could use to rebuild it. And as you could see with how low this actually goes, it was a lot easier to do when I could fly in creative. So, but that's where we're going to leave this area for now. I don't really have any other need to work on this. Clumsy as well has almost completely finished his area overnight, which is insanely quick. So yeah, that is my portion of AutoClash. At least for now. There's some more things that I want to do, but I'm going to wait until everyone's done building, and Mechanic and I are going to work on those after. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to transition into going over to Alex's base. And this is going to take a lot of time for me. For you, it probably won't. I won't show too much on camera, but I'm going to be doing some armor stand work for him and kind of livening up his city, right? That's his main goal, is he wants his city to be a little bit more lively. So I'm going to head over to Top Tower, grab some armor stands, my book, all of that, and then I will bring you back once I'm at Haven Crest. Look at how wonderful Alex's little Haven Crest looks. He's done a fantastic job bringing this city to life, and it is our responsibility to now add the life into the city. So he left me a bunch of shulkers here. That scared me. With different things, leather, colors, heads, different types of people that he wants placed around. He also said that he left out some other heads over here if I wanted to use anything else. So what I'll do is I'll use all of the stuff that he's left me. If I need to make anything or provide anything of my own, I'll just make a note of it, and then afterwards we'll true up the billing, whether I give him some diamonds back or add any diamonds to the pot. So I'm not going to make you watch this. You've seen me do armor stand work before. It's fairly simple. Armor stand, use the book, change it up. So I am going to spend some time here. I brought a bunch of armor stands because I wasn't sure how many I'm going to use. I brought my book, and we have all of the outfits and things like that here to mess with. So I'm going to start doing this, and I'll bring you back once it's done. And we're back with some completed armor stands. So what I want to do is just kind of take you through some of the scenes that I created. So this is one of the most basic ones. It's just a guy feeding the chickens, you know, hanging out. Not really doing too much. He's a little bit sad, but he gets to hang out with the chickens, you know. So I've been also throwing all the eggs that I've found while I was over in this area and hatching a bunch more little babies for Alex's little chicken thing. Over here we have one. I got to be really careful. He's pointing up at Splash's ship. Splash's ship. But yeah, I can't look at it because it's spoiler, and she's been working really hard on it. So you can just see him over there. He has a pillager head, and then Mechanic Pillager is just kind of standing guard. So also we're going to go this direction, and you can see I have one up here hanging off the roof. That is Corner Key's head, actually, previous member of the server. You can see here we have Stuff and Things just hanging out with ancient debris. Stuff and Things is like very regularly watches Alex's streams and kind of hangs out with him. So I wanted him to have kind of a prominent position hanging out in the middle of the market or the middle of the town area. We got Mystic Snipes over here kind of pointing out at the turtles. He's just hanging out, also a former member of the server, Mechanic's Friend. Over here, we have a little boy feeding the horses. You can see he's got his little wheat, and he's just trying to feed the skeleton horses that don't really care because they don't eat the wheat. There is a raid going on here, by the way. I don't really know. I messaged Alex. He got on. We looked everywhere. The only thing we can think is that the passive pillagers that he has count towards the raid, so not really too much to worry about, but it is there. On Alex's crane, there's a guy just chilling, hanging out up there. That was his newest build that he just did in his last video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Let's see. Up here is one of my favorites. It's a little scene where we got some kids playing, and you can see right there in the background there's a little boy who's too scared to come and talk to the little girls. So he's just hiding over there, peeking at what they're doing. We got every single wheat field that he has, I put a scarecrow in. So different variants. We have the pink variant, and then we have the red variant. So each one, you can see there's a scarecrow warning off the birds. It's kind of a fun little thing that I decided to do. Over here in the train, we put Jason Train as the conductor. I mean, it just makes the most sense, to be honest. More scarecrows, as you can see, kind of going up his wheat fields. And then over here, we have a little fella pushing a pumpkin. It's a pretty large pumpkin. So he's just kind of pushing it around, trying to get it to where it needs to go. I really wanted him to be eating a melon because this is his pumpkin and melon farm. But honestly, the melons were really hard to work with. They were floating in the hands, and you can't really get the hands near the face to make it look like he's eating. So I had to deal with the pushing the pumpkin, which I actually like anyway. So there's 2 scenes that are still left. 3 scenes left, actually. This little kid over here is one of my favorites as well. Just doing a little balance walk on the wall above the sewer. So all the little kid heads are Slunky's old skin. Also previous member of the server, but has a perfect little face for kids, in my opinion. Little rosy cheeks and everything. And then you might have seen it in the background of where I started, but up here we kind of got a jester going on. So he's juggling. I gave him the piglin head, and yeah, so he's got his little hat that I made out of golden carrots and the little gems, and then he's juggling the gems as well. So kind of action pose. Use your imagination, you know what I mean? And then one of my favorite whole egg areas was actually the very first area that I worked on, and that is the fisherman dock. This is where Alex and I first met about the armor stands. And so you can see we got some fishermen here. He's holding a barrel, casting out his line. We got this guy over here kind of putting the fish or taking the fish out of the tank, kind of where they're keeping them. We got this guy who caught a squid. I made little tentacles out of chains. I felt that one was pretty fancy. And then this guy who's really excited, and he caught a clownfish. I don't remember what, tropical fish I think is what they're called here. So he caught a little tropical fish, and he's just really excited. So yeah, that's all the armor stand. Oh, I guess there's one more that we'll look at. Made me think of it with the fisherman heads, but we have a couple farmers. So we have one right here, kind of hoeing the field, doing his thing, while his lazy counterpart hangs out up here eating a potato and looking at what needs to be done, but he's not really working. So I spent some time with Alex after I completed it. I showed him kind of the little scenes. I told him that he has more, or he has the ability to change anything that he wants. This is his area, so if there's a specific stand that he doesn't like or he wants to add to it, it's all up to him. But all of them are locked, and they are here forever unless he changes them. So I hope that you guys enjoy the little armor stand work. It does take a long time. All the stands that I used probably 60 of them. And it took me probably total of 3.5, 4 hours of just kind of messing with their poses and making them all look how I wanted them to look. Especially when you get to things like that or the squid over there. It's a little bit more detailed than just like that guy who's just kind of balanced on the wall. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. And to end this episode, we are actually going to go back to my base because I want to do one more build today. We are fast approaching the end of the season, and we still have a lot of work to do on the village. So I'm going to head back there. I'll bring you back, and we will talk about what we're going to be building. All right, we're back here at the base. I've done kind of a little layout to this build. So there's kind of two pieces of it that are together. There's this large piece where you can see the brown wool where the pillars will be. And then there will be a building kind of attached to or next to this area here. And this is basically going to be for the Fletchers and the leather workers. So Fletchers, we're going to give a shooting range, right, where they have some targets and they can kind of shoot down the range, test their bows. And then we're also going to have in there some villagers to trade with. So they're going to be hanging out in there. And I already have a bunch of the Fletchers fully leveled up over there at the villager breeder that we'll have to bring over. I might also pay Death to do that. We'll see. And then over in this area will be where the leather workers hang out. So there will be 2 leather workers that get kind of their own little cubby holes or their working areas. And then back here, I'm going to have kind of like the big tanning hide. I'm going to try to create it with armor stands using leather and see if we can get it to look similar to like hide being tanned with the sun. It's going to have like an open window to it. So yeah, I'm going to just get started on the build. I have all of the materials that I need in all of these shulkers here, from blackstone to wood, and even things like the dark prismarine to give it the accents. Oh, that's just my villager box. I also have some things like chains, lanterns. So yeah, it should be fun. I hope that you guys enjoy the second time lapse of this video. And let's go ahead and get started. And there you have it, another complete build. This one took a long time because I ended up having to take a break in between the build. Like I got halfway done and then I ended up going camping, and so that's why this video is a little bit delayed. But honestly, other than the armor stand work that I'm gonna have to do and moving the villagers over here, which are all the way across over there currently, the build itself is complete. There is one last touch that I have to add that I realized when I was doing the little fly around just now, and now it's done. So yeah, I'm gonna add some armor stand work. I'm not gonna do it on camera, and I'm also not gonna do it right now. I'll do it after, or in between episodes, I guess is the best way to put it. But right here is going to be a leather worker station. So there's 2 leather worker cubbies here and here for the leather workers to hang out. Because this is a combination build of leather workers and Fletchers. And then there is like a shooting range out here where I'll have some armor stands with some target blocks and things like that. Some will be hanging, some will be on the ground. And then little composters, which I'll be using to place arrows in. And then like they can have like the kids can shoot from here, intermediate, expert maybe, and then master can shoot back here. So yeah, it should be a fun little time. Just trying to give some liveliness. Obviously you wouldn't want to shoot a flame bow into the hay. But yeah, it's been wonderful. So let's talk about the rest of the base, because we are fast approaching the end of the season. I still have the rest of the tower to build. That's going to take a while. I don't even have a roof on that bottom section yet, I just realized. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more buildings, plus 2 more sections of tower, plus all of the terraforming and doing all the grass and all of that. So I'm going to be working a lot on this base over the next few weeks. I'm probably not going to time-lapse every build. Like, for example, this build right here. I've already designed it in Creative, and I'm probably going to have it, or I'm going to try to have it built before the next episode comes out, and we'll kind of start here looking at it. But yeah, it's a pretty big build. The time-lapse is going to be kind of weird anyway, because I put a lot of detail into the larger structure itself. So I think it'll just take too long to time-lapse it regardless. After that, we're probably going to work on this build here. Anything that's closest to the tower, I think, is main priority for me. So I'll probably start designing this one next week and try to get this one built during the next episode. The other one, obviously, that is important is covering our villager breeder, which now that I can move the Fletchers, I can actually do that. So I need to move all these Fletchers over there. Maybe I'll just pay Death to do it if he can do it pretty quickly for me. But yeah, we need to get this all emptied out so that I can actually build a structure here. This one's probably going to be the worst one to come. That's supposed to be the cathedral. And I really want it to be super intricate, so it's probably going to take me a while to design in Creative. Over here is the farmer's hut with their fields. That one shouldn't be too terrible. And then this is the fisherman village. So I should be able to get all of this done. But I'm probably going to be doing a lot of it off camera, unfortunately, because we only have, I'm guessing 5 or 6 weeks left. And look at all these shulkers that I had to use for this one single build. So anyways, guys, I appreciate your patience with me. It's been a long time coming. We did 2 different builds in this episode, plus we did armor stands for Alex. So I'm going to get to work on the armor stands here, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those fun things, and listen to me eat golden carrots. Bye, guys.